who probably have caught the news by now that Bohemia has released an official new Arma game. Since this is their biggest release in quite some time, it made me question, will we see a DayZ 2? We've seen many sequels to games before, like Star Wars Battlefront 2, which received a huge amount of backlash as the developers, EA, had different intentions. Players were complaining a lot about microtransactions and had a feel that they were actually being completely ripped off, and it was just a huge cash grab. I mean, every new year, a FIFA, don't come at me. The more recent sequel to a multiplayer shooter is Overwatch 2. Now, many people are a bit hesitant about the beta as the original game was pretty much left abandoned. Basically, added more PvE and changed the multiplayer meta to the current game. Arma Reforger looks very promising on first sight, and to keep in mind that this is actually the build-up to Arma 4. This will most likely serve as a test bench for the new engine and will hopefully make Arma 4 even a greater success. What's quite interesting though is that this is the first release of Arma on console. It is nice to see that milsims are making their way to a larger audience. The Enfusion engine can support larger scale maps and handle more intense effects. This is really nice as we can probably expect something similar to happen to DayZ. Also, this is a huge uppercut to EA as Battlefield 2042 completely flopped for them. In a more recent video, I discussed how DayZ saved itself from dying. Right now, the game is receiving a ton of updates and has broken its player record already twice this year. Right now, we see that the game is headed in a good direction and many problems are being fixed, making the game more and more playable for everybody. So far, we've seen new weapons introduced every patch and we can expect more to come. The developers are quite open and are really involved with the community. But honestly, who knows? Maybe we can see a Hello Kitty weapon skin coming very soon. Or we can open loot boxes on the coast for just under $1. If we take a closer look at the roadmap for DayZ 2022, we can see what the intentions are from the devs. Update 1.16 is on the way, and we thought this would be a good time to outline some of our plans for 2022. You'll be happy to know that we are committed to supporting DayZ through 2022, and will continue to release frequent updates that include a healthy balance of fixes, stability, and balancing, and new content. The scope of DayZ seems pretty clear for this year. More items will be coming back, and we will see a variety of new weapons added as well. What stood out for me the most was one thing, the mentioning of the Enfusion engine. We're in the process of importing the latest version of vehicle simulation out of a newer version from the Enfusion engine. We hope this will bring some much needed stability to vehicle simulation in DayZ and expect to perform some public testing in the coming weeks. It is clear that we can expect a slow transition and implementation of the Enfusion engine really soon. DayZ's development has seen such a transition before as well, in DayZ's patch 0.63. Not much later after the engine swap, we saw that DayZ 1.0 was going to be released. This was basically the full release of the game. My guess is currently that the Enfusion engine is now being tested through Arma Reforger. If the feedback is positive, we can see perhaps later this year an integration to DayZ. But back to the main question. Will we see a DayZ 2? DayZ 2 will most likely happen in the next 2 years. However, we probably won't see a complete new game like Overwatch 2. There is no point in abandoning a previous game with a community that is growing rapidly fast. We can probably expect a huge DLC release for DayZ that introduces the Enfusion engine. Along with this DLC, we can most likely see a new map coming to the game as well. Will we ever see modding support on console like there is on PC seems highly unlikely, for example as Sony is quite tight with their licenses. Perhaps Arma Reforger will bring a change to the table as Arma is quite mod dependent. With DayZ 2 we can probably expect helicopters finally added to the game. This has always been a question within the community, but always left unanswered by the development team. Probably because the current engine does not support this at all. Yes, we've seen successful mods on the PC that have helicopters, but we have to keep in mind that these updates also have to be playable on console. There are, of course, already some bells ringing that the game still feels laggy or not completely smooth. I assume that with DayZ 2, the focus will be on the next-gen consoles, as the console community is also slowly transitioning to a new rig. Personally, I would love to see more DLCs coming to DayZ in the near future. I mean, Livonia is nice, but it's already been 3 years ago that the DLC was released. As a PC player, I can't really complain about the many possibilities from the modding community. However, I hope that console players also get the opportunity to experience new maps. And if Enfusion can support larger maps and bigger cities, I have my fingers crossed for a future urban map. This topic I will leave for another video. At the time of recording this video, a new patch has been announced and also released to the experimental branch. This is patch 1.18 and seems very promising as a new form of weapons are coming to the game. In this patch, the focus is primarily on explosives and probably new ways to raid bases on the official servers. However, I've asked this question to my community recently and over 75% of you guys said no, there won't be a DayZ 2. However, there were some very interesting comments though. For example, Night Nurse saying, new engine from the ground up, hell yeah, I would buy it, long as they don't mess with the formula. I doubt they got the time for that though. Another one from Brody saying, it was the father of so much more to come. DayZ, while very fun even today, helped inspire many evolutionary games after it. PUBG, EFT, Fortnite, and so much more. DayZ doesn't need a sequel, it has many children. Brandon coming in with, maybe not a 2, but I want to see a remaster. New engine and a smoother gameplay would be sick. I don't think anyone actually enjoys the graphics and mobile game UI. Eduardo coming in with, new even bigger maps, Unreal Engine 5, less bugs, more advanced character creation, more complex weather simulations, and possibly a bit more destructible surfaces. Would all be very cool ways to make DayZ even better. It could have all these things today, so why not? And last but not least, James coming in with, we barely have DayZ 1. I mean, you got a cute dog picture as a profile picture. I'll give you that. I want to thank you guys for watching though, and like if you enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe for more DayZ content. For now, I would say have fun in the experimental patch of 1.18, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a wonderful day.